Hello everyone and welcome back to a Thinking Pack episode 16. I think we're 16 now, which is a very special number because it's 4 times 4. It's also 4 squared and it's also 16. So there you go. Anyways, welcome back to episode 16 of a Thinking Pack, and what we are doing today is we have now essentially completed the system to get lava from underground up to the surface, and so now we just need to actually tell the turtle to run all the functions that we have implemented, and then after that, then we can actually hook it up to this quarry here, which actually I haven't actually worked out a way to do yet, but it shouldn't be too hard. Actually, yeah, I think I just worked out a way in my head just there, so we'll have to actually see if it works. So anyways, let's finish off this program, which shouldn't take very long, and then we'll be ready to move on. So what functions do we have here? I think we have 5 functions. I'm going to count them on the way through, but we have find starting position. And by the way, if you hear any background noise of like fans or anything, that is because it's very hot in my room and I have a fan running on the computer right now. So I tried to insulate it from the microphone a little bit, but if you hear any background noise, then that would be why. So we have our function find starting position. We have a function go to lava. We have a function go to surface. We have a function pick up lava buckets. And we have a function we don't have a function drop off lava buckets. Well then, slight change of plans. We will be this episode starting out with making a function to drop off the lava buckets in the chest up at the surface. So let's get on to that. So lava turtle, and I'm going to see if I can find my notes from last time that basically say how to do that function, because, well, not from last time, but from previous times, because figuring out a program in real time I find can be quite hard, and I already have it figured out. So I'm just going to find our function. Okay, drop lava buckets, and I think I may not spend very long explaining this, seeing as all these same things I have explained previously. Although I never know really how good my explanations are or how clear they are, so I might explain it a little bit more as we're going. But anyways, we need to create another function. So function, and call this one drop lava buckets, and we need to put end, and I'm using a keyboard that I'm not really used to as part of the thing that why I'm fumbling up my typing so much, although I tend to do that anyways, so whatever. But yeah, repeat, we need a repeat loop, so do this whole thing until it's done dropping the lava buckets, basically. So until empty is equal to 1, which is something I'm going to define later. So basically empty could be true or false, or could be 0 or 1, just like really whatever you want. It could even be chicken or elephant if you wanted, I suppose, but I'm doing 0 and 1. So repeat, and what do we want it to repeat? We want it to basically drop the lava buckets into the chest, or in this case, seeing as we have a whole lot of empty buckets, just drop all the buckets in the chest. So repeat, and we want, let's see, I'm just reading actually my code. I'm just reading my code, and I have actually 2 repeat loops in here. So this repeat, the first repeat, is to go to until, and we want this to repeat until, we're doing this thing again that we did with is block front, and apparently I didn't actually hit the T. Is block front, and what block And I think I'm doing that out of order. Block front. Repeat is block front. So basically, make a variable is block front and what block front, and make those variables equal to turtle.inspect, and that will tell us what block is in front of us, basically. And we want it to check that. And what is going on with my program? Did I not actually finish this function? Sorry, I'm just reading my notes from the test program that I made, and I have a random print line in here that doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, that's strange. Oh, actually it does make sense. Okay, hang on, sorry. I'm getting all disorganized. Let's get organized. So, we want it to okay, what we're doing here. So basically, if you're getting confused, just ignore everything, and I'm going to explain it from here. So what we are doing here is we want it to check if there is a chest. And if there isn't a chest, then I guess it will just... And by the way, if you're hearing any of that noises, that's just my wire from my headphones. My headphone microphone thing is rubbing on the keyboard, and so if you're hearing any noises or whatever, thumping noises or whatever, then that's what it is. So we want it to check, is there a chest, basically, because here's the thing. If there isn't a chest, then right here in this program, we have no way of fixing that, and I'm not going to really bother to put that in, because, like, what's the chance it would really wind up with no chest, unless maybe this chest got broken or whatever, because we already have it finding its way, finding where it is, and going through the whole thing and everything. So by the time it gets to this function, then I don't see why it wouldn't be here. So the only problem would be if the chest were broken or something, in which case going somewhere won't help. So we're just going to have it basically looping finding a chest until it finds a chest, basically. So repeat inspect for a chest. Repeat that until what block front, that thing that we just defined, what block front dot name, until what block front dot name is equal to Minecraft:chest. Minecraft:chest. Okay, and what I want it to do is, so it'll check this variable, and it will, I want it to actually print to the screen, because if it's sitting here waiting for a chest, or if it thinks it's sitting here waiting for a chest, but it's actually not, and I don't know what's going on or whatever, I want to actually be able to tell what's going on. So, print, and let's just say no chest found. That's not found. Found. There we go. Getting used to a new keyboard is interesting. Or an old keyboard, but new to me. So, print no chest found if it finds no chest. And just keep repeating that until it winds up finding a chest. And the only other thing is that if it gets stuck in a loop with no breaks and it just keeps like looping and looping and looping, then it will actually cancel the program. And I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to have it wait. So os.sleep, and let's do 1 second. Why don't we do that? So just so that every time it runs this code, it will actually pause for 1 second, so it won't actually cancel the program on us. So there we go. So that's the first part. So check if there is a chest, because I don't want it throwing all this iron bucket and lava and all that just anywhere on the ground. So we want to actually know that there is a chest first, and there's not supposed to be a squiggly thing before that end. Okay, so that's the first part. So now, by the time it gets past that, we have determined that there is in fact a chest in front of it. So then we want it to run the next part, which is this here. Okay. It's another repeat loop, which I actually started writing in. Repeat. And basically what we want it to do is we want it to cycle through every inventory slot it's got, all 16 of them, and drop the items in the chest, basically, is what we want it to do. So, what we want it to do here, repeat, and repeat. Okay, so we obviously want the for loop with for, and let's say I equals 1 to 16. So it'll, as I've explained before, it'll start this, it will set I to 1, and it will run whatever's inside this loop, and then it will do it again, set I to 2, and it'll keep doing that until I is 16, and it'll run that, and then it will stop. So basically this for loop increases I by 1 each time, until then it tries to do it again and finds that it's already equal to the top number that we put, is basically my understanding of how it works. So for I equals 1 to 16, do this code in between. So basically we want it to select the inventory slot, turtle.select, and we want it to select, let's say, slot I, because I will be whatever number is currently in this loop, and it can be anything from 1 to 16, which covers all of these 1 to 16 slots that are here. So turtle.select slot I, so it will go from slot 1 right through to slot 16. And sorry about the wire being noisy. So turtle.select slot I, and then we want it to drop whatever is in the slot, which should only be lava buckets or empty buckets, and we'll just have to deal with that afterwards. So turtle.drop, and then that is basically the end of the for loop. So you might have been wondering what this empty equals 1 thing is that we got down here that I started typing in earlier. Basically what that is just a way to tell it when to stop trying to dump the buckets out. Because here's the thing. Let's say, what if this chest were full? See, this is actually one of my favorite parts about programming, is figuring all the what ifs. Like, well, what if this happens? Then let's do this. Or what if this happens? And then, so it's trying to account for all of the what ifs. And that's actually, I find that a lot of fun. So, what if this chest is full? Then what will happen is the turtle will not be able to put its items into the chest, and it will just hold the items in its inventory. And that's the way I used to think it works, and I just started to question that recently and found that that does in fact seem to be the way it works. So, but because I've just recently questioned it, I'm not entirely positive. But anyways, so yeah, so the turtle will hold its items. No, actually, yeah, because I've just done experiments in a test world, and it does. So the turtle will hold its items until it can put them in the chest, basically. So if the chest is full, then the turtle will still have items in it. And let's say the turtle dropped maybe, let's say, 1 bucket into the chest, and now the chest is full. Now the turtle's got 15 full buckets left. Then, well, there's no point in sending it on another trip back down underground to pick up more buckets, because it has no room for them. That's just basically a waste of fuel. So we want it to stay here until the turtle has completely emptied its inventory. So I'm going to basically set a variable empty, and the way I'm going to do this is basically to basically assume it's empty until proven full. So basically what that will do is it will start this repeat loop, and it will go through this repeat loop and go down to here and then set empty equal to 1. So 1 is true, 0 is false, just for the way I'm working this out. So it will set empty to 1. So it will assume that its inventory is empty. Then it will do this thing going through every single slot in the inventory. And we want, at any point, if it encounters that it is in fact not empty, whatever slot it's currently selecting, then we want it to basically set, like, say empty, like say it's not empty. So first select the slot, then try to drop the item, and then check if, and if, where were we? Okay. If turtle.get item count. So that is a very useful function. So it will get, on the currently selected slot, it will get how many items are in the slot. So seeing as lava buckets don't stack, but just in case something else gets in the system, like an empty bucket that happened to stack for some reason, or whatever, let's just say if it's greater than 0. So basically, and let's put a space there. I don't actually know if that space is required, but I've just always used it, so I'm just going to do that to save on troubleshooting problems. So basically, if there are more than 0 items in the slot, then it's not empty, obviously. So if turtle.getItemCount is greater than 0, then, whoops, that is the word end with your fingers in the wrong position. So if there are items in the slot, then we want empty equals 0. So you can read through this repeat loop here if you want yourself to try to figure out what's going on here. But basically, it will keep repeating. It will first select, it will first make empty equal to 1, assume it's empty basically, and then the for loop here, it will go through every slot, and if it gets through every slot, basically the first thing it does is, well, the first thing it does is it selects the slot, of course, but then the first thing it does with it is it tries to drop the item. So if the chest is empty, it will drop the item, and then the slot will be empty, so then it goes to this if, and the slot is empty. And so the only reason the slot would still be full is if the chest is full, and so it can't drop the item. So if the slot is full, it will say that it's not empty, basically. And then if it gets through this entire program, this entire loop, without ever finding a bucket it can't drop in the inventory, then it'll get down here and find that empty is equal to 1. Basically, empty is true. And then it will be done with that function. So that's basically what we want it to do. So now that should work, and I'm going to actually just implement it into the program right now rather than specifically testing it. And then if we run into problems, we might have to modify this to specifically test. But so yeah, so let's do that. So find starting position is the first thing we want it to do. Then we want it to pick up lava buckets because it will be at that chest that's underground. Then we want it to head to the surface. Then once we get it to the surface, we want it to, what did we call the function? We called it drop lava buckets. So we get down and then we get up, and then we want drop lava buckets, and open bracket, close bracket. And then we want it to head back down, basically. So what was it called to head back down? It was go to lava. There we go. So let's tell it to run go to lava. after it drops off the lava buckets, go to lava. And there we go. And then once it has reached downstairs, once it has reached the lava, then find starting position will be true already. And then we want it to pick up lava buckets. So that's good. So why don't we just set this whole thing in a loop? So while, and let's say 0 is equal to 0, just something that is true and will always be true, so that it's an infinite loop. And I'm just going to indent this as I'm going past. There we go. And give myself a little bit more space down here. There we go. So now this whole thing should be working, and it will be running in an infinite loop, so it will just keep trying to transport buckets. So let's see if that in fact works. So end, let's restart. And oh, I almost forgot something. So what we want to do is we want to have it print to the screen, just so that for easier debugging, so we can tell what's going on. Drop lava buckets. We want it to basically tell us a print to the screen. We want it to tell us that it's running this function. So print running drop drop, and I'm writing it basically as the buckets. There we go. Print drop lava buckets. No, print running drop lava buckets. I'm basically doing all this fancy capitalization stuff and all that I did in the name of the function just because that's the name I'm familiar with, so I'm putting it down here. But you can really put whatever you want. It just something you can read so that you know what it's trying to tell you. So there we go. So now it will tell us every function that's going on. So we already saved, so let's exit, restart, and now let's run the lava elevator. Okay, BIOS 14, string, lava elevator, 69, then expected. I don't know what most of this means, except I do know that the 69 is the line we're looking for, and it expected then. So I probably forgot something, and there's a good chance that it was something that some of you guys who watch this video may have noticed long before I did. So let's see, line 69. Aha. Yes, so line 69 is not actually line 69, it's line 68. That gave us a general idea where to look. But let's put then as is supposed to be there. And now let's restart again, and let's run it again. Lava elevator. There we go. So the first thing it will do is find its starting position, which is unnecessary right now, but it doesn't really matter. So it's going to head down to the chest again, and then it will proceed from there. So yeah, so this has been another episode of A Thinking Pack. This has been episode, what was it? I think it was 16 that we're on. So yeah, this has been episode 16 of A Thinking Pack, and we're just going to check that this turtle is in fact running the way it's supposed to. And then if it is, then that's the end of this thing for today. So let's see. So it will get down here, and I'm going to open again. Running, find starting position, running, pick up lava buckets. So it checked for any extra space for lava buckets, and now it's going to the surface, and let's try to meet it up at the surface. Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't have followed it down, because it's going to be up to the surface and back down before I have time to get back up to the surface. So that's rather unfortunate. You know, we could really benefit from having some proper stairs here. So that's probably something I should work on at some point, because this is a long travel to get up to the surface. So let's head up and see. It's probably going to have dropped off its lava buckets already and have already been heading back downstairs. And then it will get stopped downstairs because it has not found what it's looking for. There, so it's not here. And you can see it dropped all its stuff, including the empty lava buckets, into this chest here. And then it headed back downstairs, and... ah, there it is, actually, still in transit, it looks like. So, let's head back down, and actually on the way, because those stairs are taking a really long time, I'm going to get some extra cobblestone. I'm going to make some stairs. Whether I actually put them in right now or not, I don't know, but I'm going to make some. So, here we go. I really don't know how many stairs we're going to need, so let's just do like that. And that actually worked out to 64. That's really nice. So, I'm going to head downstairs. Or down, well, I guess they are still stairs. They're large stairs. Clear out the roof a little bit more as we're going, just to make things easier on ourselves. There we go. So, let's head down and catch up with the turtle, which is over here. And let's see what we got here. We got, it has picked up the 2 buckets, and you can see it's running pick up lava buckets. There's the log of everything that has done. Now, why did it say no chest found? That shouldn't have happened, I don't think. Oh, I think it may just be where we've got it in the loop. I think it might be that it prints the no chest found thing before it actually checks for a chest the first time. I think I remember thinking that last time I did the program, so I would have to check that to actually be sure. But anyways, I don't think I'm going to bother doing that because it seems like it's working just fine. So if you want to find out why it says no chest found there, then I guess go back through the video and try to find it out if you want to do the detective work of trying to figure that out. So, anyways, it seems like our turtle is actually working properly. Now, the only thing we have left to do is to set this as a startup program. So, lava elevator. And basically, a startup program, all it does is it runs as you're going. Whoops, I'm spinning around. Like when you start up the world, the turtle starts fresh and it will run the program automatically. So that's basically what a startup program does, but we're going to do that next episode. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and this is Handy Andy signing off. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and there will be a link on the screen, assuming I remember, of course, to the Thinking Pack playlist where you can watch all the episodes that you may possibly be interested in. And yeah, so hope you enjoyed the video, and see you later. Bye-bye.